Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise. I'm a freedom activist and strategist in the state of California, and I'm one of the co-founders of Freedom Angels. I'm going to give you my takeaway from the debate last night. I actually was extremely triggered, and I'm wondering why activists in the Latino community aren't triggered as well. As most of you guys know, I am a Trump supporter. I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am for the Constitution, and I look at policies. I look at things that, track records and things of that nature. So I am extremely annoyed with what we saw last night at the debate. So, I was watching it, and it's like sports. You're yelling and you're laughing and you're saying, I can't believe that actually happened. I can't believe Joe Biden actually dismissed the issues and the problems happening at the border when he said that these children are coming with their parents. That is a huge F you, fuck you guys and your children. I'm pandering to you, but I don't give two shits about what happens to you at the border. It is very, very disheartening to see so many Latinos thinking they have to vote with the blue ticket because they hate Trump so much. I have been a lifelong Democrat. Even though I was never involved in politics, I just voted blue. I didn't even know what I was voting for besides a blue ticket. So last night, Joe Biden said the children that are coming at the border who are being detained, who do not have parents there, have come with their parents. These are children who are unaccompanied, and I am seeing some crazy stuff about coyotes, how animals don't bring children across the border. Actually, they are animals. They are coyotes. They are men and women who are getting paid about $1,500 per person to bring over man, woman, or child. This is human trafficking. The way they bring them is in the back of trailers, trucks, trunks. They come across the border and they dump them on the United States side. What is happening at our borders is human trafficking. Women, men, and children are being sold in the sex industry. They are also the men are being sold into cheap labor. Sorry, I'm outside. My kids are crazy today, so I'm inside doing this, or outside. You guys should look at, what's the website? I wrote it here so I wouldn't forget it, and then I lost it. CIS.org, I believe. And they give you stats on the children that are coming across the border unaccompanied. 32,372 children between October 19th and May of 2018. Or, vice versa. And then in 2019, 52,000 children came here to the United States unaccompanied with coyotes. These parents know that their children could be raped, can be sold, and they get sent with the Plan B pill. Look up the stats on the children and the women who are left at the border, who are found dead at the border because of the dangerous trek that there is, but also of the human trafficking that happens there. 2 years ago, there was a child she was 10 years old, and she was found at the border, and she had 20 different DNAs on her. 20 different men raped a 10-year-old girl because she was sent unaccompanied with a coyote, with a human trafficker to come to the United States. What Joe Biden said last night was a huge fuck you to these kids and to these parents who do want to come here for a better way of life. They do want to come here for that American dream. They do want to come here to be able to buy a home, own a business, be left alone, just live their life the way they want to the way they want to live it. As long as it's legal, who cares? You are an adult. No government should be inside of our homes. However, there is a huge problem with illegal immigration. Now, I get this shit all the time that people think I'm racist or I'm against my own people. Actually, you people who support illegal immigration and the dangerous trek that these parents have to take on their children, you guys are racist. You guys do not want what's best for your own people. If you did, you would support politicians and policies, and you would demand that people like Joe Biden, who have been in office for 47 years, you would demand that they create a better path to citizenship. So that way, people like, I know a lot of illegal immigrants, hardworking illegal immigrants. That way, they're not scared of their employers. That way, they don't get harassed, they don't get mocked, and they don't get told, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna call a migranio. What we're seeing is these Democrats have had years to create a better path, have had years to create a way for families to come out here together and have that American dream, because the United States of America is the best country in the world. We are the only country that you can come here and not speak the language and have 12 children and still be able to get a job, to live successfully, to have all of these opportunities that are afforded to us. You know, I hate affirmative action and that kind of shit. They're telling us that we're less than and we need a head start because we're brown. This is the mindset, well, my white hairs, of the victim mentality that you're owed something. I am second generation American Mexican. My family worked in the fields. My family followed the money. My family came here on work visas. My family had 14 children that my grandfather supported by working in the fields. My grandmother doesn't speak English. She doesn't drive. She is a homemaker. And they were able to successfully raise their children, send them to school, and my aunts and uncles are extremely, extremely successful people. My family have also decided to not like my stance, right? Even though my grandparents don't support illegal immigration, my family always talks about it, but they refuse to support Trump because he's a Republican. This is the problem. We have been so confused and so tricked into thinking that we have to vote red or blue, that blue is for immigrants, that blue is for Hispanics. They don't give two shits about us. They don't want us legal. They want us here afraid. They want us here not able to speak up, not fighting back, not asserting our rights. They want us here to say, yes, I don't want you to take my, I don't want you to take my citizenship. I don't want you to take my visa. I don't want any problems with CPS. They mentioned those children who are at the border, that the families can't be found. You think that those families are going to come back to court and go into this immigration courtroom and say, yes, these are my children, I sent them alone? There is a problem at the border. There has always been a problem at the border. There's been a problem at the border with children who are being extremely vaccinated as soon as they come in. There's a problem at the border with children being molested. There is a problem at the border just like everywhere else, and there needs to be a better way to police these entities. Just like everything else, nobody can police themselves. But these people who are acting like illegal immigration shouldn't even be an issue. Nobody's illegal, right? In a perfect world, we would be able to have open borders and for people to come and to say, yes, come live the American dream. But unfortunately, we don't have that because there's always going to be people that capitalize on these types of opportunities. Thus, MS-13 gang. There's always going to be people who capitalize on the warm hearts of others. We can't have open borders because we have bad people who come from every single country coming here to take advantage with the drug war, with the human trafficking. There is a problem. And for Joe Biden to go on and to say that there is no problem is a problem. They were talking about who built the cages, Joe? Who built those cages? Guess what? Obama administration built those cages. They put those children and they toured it like, oh, this is wonderful. And you can look up at the tours. Do children need to be in cages? Absolutely not. However, there needs to be a better system in place. There always needs to be a better system. We're always learning, right? If things stayed the same, we would be in a lot of trouble. It's always a learning experience. Okay, this didn't work. Let's try something else. What we're seeing is separation of families because that family broke the law. If you go down, actually, Candace Owens did a thing a couple years ago, and she went to the border and she looked at the facilities, and those facilities are beautiful facilities that have schools, they have sports, they have trade. You know, they're teaching how to do a trade at the border facilities. Now, if you go to the United States facilities that house our foster children, you will see they are detention centers. These children get bunked. If anybody's went to jail before, they know you got bunkies, you got one big ass cafeteria, and you got bed after bed and row after row, and these kids are living in these conditions, being treated like criminals because their parents are now in the system. We have children in the system who are being trafficked through CPS. CPS is not a government agency. CPS is a for-profit agency that goes into homes and gets money because of the Bill Clinton administration giving them $2,000 per child to get removed from the home. When there's incentives like that, there's a problem. They get more when those children are disabled. The whole system needs an overhaul. And so when I see people like the Brown Berets, okay, they triggered me when I went to a rally. They were there with BLM, and I am looking at you guys, you Brown Berets out there who were out there in the streets trying to counter me, telling me that I'm a terrorist. You guys have no fucking business out there on those streets, because I don't see you guys at the detention centers. I don't see you guys protesting for these children who get molested, who get raped at the border. I don't see you guys anywhere. It's just there because now the media is telling you that this is the revolution. Your revolution, if it's televised, it's not a revolution. You know, these people talking about me, saying that I shouldn't be supporting Trump. You know, you guys are supporting candidates that support the separation of Black and Mexican families. That crime bill that Joe Biden in 1994 supported the separation of Black males because he called them super predators. They don't like you. They don't care about you. They want to see you gone. Thus, the policies that have been put in place because they think you are a predator because you are brown and Black. I came from the streets. I was raised in the streets, raised me. I've seen a lot of really bad stuff, and what I'm seeing is all at the hands of the government. They brought in the drug war. They brought in the human trafficking. They're the ones who's keeping us in the ghetto. They don't want us to own property. That's why they build up, not out. They don't want us to have anything. And now we have a president who has not been a career politician for 47 years, and then all of a sudden decided maybe we need to fix the things that are happening in the brown and Black community. Light bulb. No, they've had plenty of time. They've had plenty of time, and they've gotten plenty of money off the backs of Latinos and Blacks. Plenty. Latinos vote Democrat like it is a religion. It is not a religion. These people have faked us out for long enough, and the only reason why you're seeing all this shit out, everything's out now. All the corruption is out now because Donald Trump has decided to bring everything to the light and let us know exactly how our government is working, and it's our fault. All of this is our fault because we've decided that we will no longer pay attention to politics, but we're just going to vote red or blue, and we're just going to let them police themselves. We'll see in 4 years if they've actually done the job, and if they didn't do the job, maybe another 4 years because maybe they forgot. It is bullshit of what he did, and every single anti-human trafficking activist, every single Latino who's voting for Biden, tell me why are you supporting a candidate who has consistently on record called Latinos and blacks predators, called interracial schools a jungle, said if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. What does that have to fucking do with anything? It pissed me off last night. And now he says he wants to give 11 million illegal immigrants citizenship. What the fuck? What about all of those people and all of those families who have paid thousands of dollars and stayed on a waiting list to come to the United States? Now they're being pushed aside for the 11 million illegal immigrants that are here because Joe Biden wants to have the Latino vote. Maybe he'll play Despacito one more time and we'll just like go ahead and just give him everything. What the Obama administration and what the Obama-Biden administration did was deport more Hispanics than any other president. They called him deporter and chief. While you sit there and you say Trump hates Mexicans, blah, 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 blah. Let's take it back a little bit. Maybe you should do some research to see how many people Obama actually deported while telling you that he cares about Latinos. And if you don't want to look, I have the stats right here. Let's see, Obama, this is per The Hill, 18 million, 1.8 million dollars or million people the first 3 years. Then 409,849 in 2012. ICE reported that they deported 385,000 people each fiscal year between 2009 and 2011. Let's see how many Trump deported. 226,000 in 2017, 250,000 in 2018, and 282,000 in 2019. Now, I know a lot of you guys have heard about like those ICE raids. When those ICE raids come, because they're coming to Sacramento, any sanctuary state, any sanctuary city, they're coming for you. They don't go down and look, you know what, he looks super Mexican. I see a nopal on his head. I think he's illegal. I'm going to deport him. No, they go for the people that are sex offenders, that are drug dealers, that hurt children and their wives. No, the goal of a president is to take care of his people and his country. Yes, we help other countries, as you know. However, the job of the United States president isn't to make sure that everybody in other countries are okay. They're here to make sure that the people in the United States have food, have shelter, have jobs, have a good economy, have a good school system, and none of that is taking place right now. In California, we are one of the most heavily taxed states in the nation. We are the wealthiest, one of the wealthiest states in the nation. However, we have the highest rate of homeless. People shit on the streets, but they won't let us in the bathrooms to go pee if we don't have a mask. The crime rate is insane. The mental health issues are ridiculous. The missing children, 800,000 missing children are reported each year in the United States, and nobody is looking for them. Could you imagine how many children at the border are missing? Nobody's looking for them. So if you think Joe Biden is, after 47 years, has this light bulb that, you know what, I'm gonna fix what's going on in America. Never there's human trafficking at the border. They're all with their parents and they should all be let in because we live in a great, great world. I wish we did. I'm more of an anarchist, and anarchy is not what you think where we're setting things on fire. I want no government, but that's just not how the world works. We have to have government. We have to have a leader because people don't know how to act. If we had a compound and, you know what, we have a city of 300 people, you are going to, take care of your space. If we want a road, we're all going to chip in. If we need this, we're all going to chip in. There's not going to be any crime because everybody's just kind of wanting to live their life. That's anarchy. I don't want government in my life. But unfortunately, we live in a space where if people want what you have, they're going to take it. If people don't like what you say, they're going to attack you. while I'm sitting here and I go out to these protests and I go out to these rallies and I go and I support a president that has done more for the human trafficking issue than I in my lifetime, in my voting lifetime. I'm going to support a president because I like his policies, and I'll be damned if I have some skinny ass little kid coming up to me telling me that I'm racist. You have no idea about politics if you're calling me a racist. So, you know, Latinos are waking up. They are, thankfully. We have the Lexit movement. We have Blexit for the black exit of the Democratic Party. We have Mexit. We have a lot of people who are now starting to wise up that politics has bamboozled us. Politics, these politicians have tried to make it confusing so that way we stay confused and we just vote and we walk away. I have never in my life, my adult life, seen so many people involved with politics, regardless of what side you're on, and it's about fucking time. Because we can't just be voting the same way that we've been voting for the last umpteenth years. The way we've been voting has gotten us into this space where we are now completely controlled by our government. Our food, our water, our travel, all of it, completely controlled by the government. And now you have Joe Biden coming out saying that he's gonna end fracking. He said it, and I have the video, he's gonna end it. He wants to end gas cars. How the fuck are we going to travel? How are planes going to be able to travel? We can't sustain something like that. And, you know, I really don't want a world where we all buy electric cars, because God forbid something happen. You know how quickly they'll turn off our way to travel? You know, Latinos, wake up, man. Wake up, dude. It's like, they don't care about us. They don't. If they did, they would have made it so much easier for us to come here and live that American dream, instead of being scared, instead of being sold to slave labor, instead of being sold into human trafficking, instead of our children being inoculated at schools, at camps, at the border, and then they die, and then what happens? Illegal immigrants cannot sue. Just how we can't sue the vaccine manufacturers if something happens to us, we have to go to vaccine court. Illegal immigrants don't have that luxury. They can't sue. They die, that's it. I know you guys remember a couple years ago, maybe last year, children were dying after the flu vaccine at the border, and they didn't know what was going on. Nothing happened. It was real quiet. So it's all bullshit. Don't let these Democrats take control of our country. We have a huge problem with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Clintons. They have sold us out to the highest bidder, and we will not allow them to take our country. So that's it. I just wanted to get on and get pissed and wake you guys up. You know, they don't care. None of them care. We have a president who has issued policies that I support. Is he perfect? I fucking can't stand the way he acts. I can't stand his demeanor. But maybe we need someone who isn't so politically correct, and someone who's going to actually come out and start talking about the real issues that are happening in our country, because it's been silent for a very long time. None of us ever knew what was going on behind the scenes, and now we do. And there's a big fucking mess behind the scenes right now. So vote. You know, I know a lot of people say vote doesn't count. I will be voting. I hope you guys vote. Vote in person. Drop it off in person. Don't allow them to cheat any more than they already have. We have just a few more days until we find out what direction our country is going to be headed in. And either way, there's going to be a big mess. And I want you guys to be prepared. So, you know, if you're able to, support your Second Amendment. Be trained, women, be trained to protect your household. It's only a matter of time until they start really stirring shit up. So thank you. This video will be saved on my stories, and I will also, if you guys are on Facebook, I will also post it on my Facebook. All right, guys, have a great morning.